My name is Laura Rubin. My friends call me Ruby, and I am a 19-year cancer survivor. I'm an author, a writer, a journalist, and a journaling expert. I was 31. I was living in New York City, and I had no family history. Through a routine gynecological checkup, my doctor felt a lump on my right side, and she asked mother, grandmother, aunts, etc. Said, no, 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 no. And she was like, well, we're not going to watch it. We're going to go get you more imagery. I shrugged and said, sure. And I'm really glad I did. I was very lucky. I had stage 2 HER2 positive cancer, estrogen receptor borderline. At the time of my diagnosis, I recognized I had a very aggressive form of breast cancer, the most fatal form at the time. And during the period of time between which I started my cancer journey and ended my chemotherapy, there was a drug that was made available called Herceptin that turned the most fatal form of breast cancer into the most curable. Um, the window was remarkable. I started with surgery. I was single at the time and young, and talked to my breast surgeon. Was like, "Look, can we just make sure that like they look good afterwards?" And he said, "I'm going to treat you like my sister." I actually trained as a plastic surgeon as well. He was, as a result, very conservative in what he took, and I had to go back in and do a second surgery at the same site to clear my margins. I had a sentinel node biopsy, and it demonstrated that the cancer had been moving towards my lymph nodes but had not reached them. And because I was quite young and it was aggressive, what it meant at the time was that they really nuked the young girls because we could take it. And also, back then, it was very rare for somebody as young as I was to have breast cancer. We know now that's no longer the case. So I did a dose-dense protocol of ACT, Adriamycin, Cytoxan, and I don't even remember what the third one was now. Isn't that great? And then I started a year of Herceptin as well as a radiation protocol. It was about a month and a half of daily radiation treatments. I think my lowest moment was after my first 4 chemotherapy treatments where before I shifted to the next kind of chemotherapy, and I could really feel my body dying because chemotherapy, at least the kind that I had back then, wasn't very targeted. So it meant that it killed off a lot of the things that are healthy as well in order to get at the stuff that is not healthy. And I remember I didn't have any eyebrows or eyelashes or hair anywhere. And I was pallid and puffy. And so I didn't look like myself. And I also didn't feel like myself. And there was a moment where I actually said, I can feel the breath of death on my neck. Um, and what got me through was my community, my friends, my family. I actually never knew how loved I was until I was sick. And not ever, not 1 minute, 24/7 was I alone unless I wanted solitude. I had someone to call in the middle of the night. I had guy friends in Europe. I could pick up the phone and call, and they were there and they would listen. Um, After my first treatment, I was really scared, and I had 2 friends sleep on either side of me because I didn't know what was coming, and they didn't want me to be alone. Um, my best friend came to every chemotherapy appointment with me. So yeah, I had a lot of love around me, and that's what got me through. When I was diagnosed and while I was in it, there were some people that would sort of ask me like, "What has it taught you? What have you learned?" And when you're in the tunnel, you don't have perspective. It's like, I don't know that, like, I'm trying to get through the next hour. But now that I have so much more time and space, so much more perspective, what it's taught me is that you don't waste it. Go do some good, go love it all, love your people hard, enjoy it, do not suffer fools, and live fully. Because I recognize that some of the women that I went through treatment with, they're not here. So I'm living for them too. And that gives me a sense of purpose and mission where it's it's not about guilt, it's about joy. One of the things that I didn't know that I wish I'd known was that you often get through your intense treatments and surgeries and protocol, and you have this natural armor on in order to be able to go do those things. It's emotional armor, and it's necessary in order for you to rise to the occasion and avail yourself of these intense medicines. And when you're done, and sort of the whole kind of team, like, high fives and goes back to their life. It's like, you're watching, like, the fire trucks drive away from you. That's when the emotional component often actually lands, and you're looking around going, "Whoa, what just happened?" And since I didn't know that that was what was probably going to happen, it really caught me out of it caught me off guard. And in talking to other women who are going through a similar juncture, once I can name it for them, they go, "Oh, that makes so much sense." So when it happens, just acknowledge it and avail yourself of the help and support that you need. And make sure that you are supporting yourself through that part of that juncture of the journey as well. Now, a lot of people feel like they have to share what they're going through as they're going through it. And what I want to remind people is it's your experience. It's just for you. You share as much or as little of it as you are ready to do when you are ready to do it. You do not owe that to anybody. And I hope you will journal if it feels right and good for you. But even me, my journal, this is what I do for a living. And I just couldn't find my way to the page with consistency, neurologically, like, it just emotionally, it just wasn't there, and instead of making myself do things I felt like I was supposed to do, I just honored what I could do. Fight Like Hell is my reminder to you that you are not a victim in this. You are participating in your own healing journey. So go and fight like hell. Fight like hell.